We are fully swept in award season as we are weeks away from the Oscar telecast. But in the meantime, there are other awards to celebrate. First up, the Directors Guild. The DGA held its awards last week, where Anora director Sean Baker surprise won Best Theatrical Feature. Nickel Boys director Ramel Ross won Best First Time Director. And Porcelain War directors Brendan Belomo and Slava Leontiu won Best Documentary Director. The Critics' Choice Awards also happened last week, where Anora won another surprise Best Picture award, but John M. Chu won for Wicked, notably not nominated for the Academy Award. Other winners include Best Actor Adrian Brody, Best Actress Demi Moore, Best Supporting Actor Kieran Culkin, Best Supporting Actress Zoe Saldana, Best Ensemble going to Conclave. Put an asterisk next to that one. We always discuss this upon Oscar time. And Best Score went to Challengers, again, which does not have the Oscar nod. So here's what's coming before we select our Oscar picks. The Writers Guild Awards, which take place this weekend on the 15th. The BAFTA Awards, which are British but include a lot of American films, which take place on the 16th. And the SAG Awards, which again, put an asterisk there too. We will discuss that, especially their Ensemble Award, when it takes place on the 23rd.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot to consider.
The Oscars are the following week on March 2nd. So, which means we will have to make our predictions not
Yes.
next week, but the following week, the 28th.
Yes, we will lock in. 28th will be our lock-in date for those predictions. So I'll have to do. I think I've already started the spreadsheet, but we'll have to lock in on that spreadsheet
Yep,
by
which
that date.
means next week we will have our winners for the WGA and the BAFTAs.
Mhm.
And then the following week we'll get our SAG Awards where we'll have our final nominations, our final choices.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fun. I mean, things are starting to take shape, at least in the acting category. Adrian
Yes.
Brody kind of starting to have it on lock. Demi
Looks like it.
Moore starting to have it on lock. Kieran Culkin and Zoe Saldana. It seems like those four are starting to cruise into the Oscars.
Yeah.
Should
Yes.
the SAG or BAFTA shake things up? Maybe BAFTA, but it'd be interesting
Maybe
to see what happens
BAFTA.
with SAG right before, because
Mhm.
actors are, and always have
Yes.
been, and always will be,
The
the
biggest voting
biggest
block.
voting block, which
Yeah. It's
is why
yeah.
Best Ensemble going to Conclave is very interesting.
It's interesting, but I wouldn't say that that's a guarantee. I think the race right now, from what I've been able to gather, yeah, you're right about the acting prizes. I think 3 out of 4 of these have been set for a while. I think Adrian Brody is having a little bit of a push right now. And I think you might be right about that. Maybe that is solidifying him in the race. I don't know for sure. But the other three are pretty much guarantees at this point. Um, However, the question now everybody's asking is the bad press over the last couple months enough to push down Amelia Perez? I saw several articles this week suggesting that that's the case, that the it's finally doing damage to the movie's reputation, and what was at a point seen to be a slam dunk best picture is no longer guaranteed. The Brutalist seems to be gaining speed and momentum and might be the one to beat. At least I thought that before I saw these. Honora coming from behind and having a dark horse appearance here could be possible as well.
Here's the other thing to consider is that while the Brutalist hasn't won best, hasn't taken away the biggest award, it does take it for original screenplay.
Yes.
But for it, and everywhere we've seen it, a Brutalist wins the original screenplay. But also for adapted screenplay, Conclave has been
Yeah.
taking up all those awards. So they're
So yeah,
both really powerful films
and we'll
with
get a
really
better
powerful
idea.
scripts, and
Yes.
only one's getting the ensemble, it looks like.
Yeah. So we'll
I'm
we'll
just
we'll be able
saying,
to
we
put
may have
these.
a surprise Conclave night.
I don't know. I think
Ah,
that's wishful thinking in
isn't
a
that
lot
what
of
Conclave is
ways.
all about? Wishful thinking?
I guess so. Yeah,
All
the
about
more
getting the votes, making sure you have the votes.
I mean, the more that I think about that movie, it does feel like it took place in an alternate universe to our current one. But yes, where that stuff matters. But yeah, there's a lot of pieces that are still not in place. Once we have those pieces, we'll be able to have a better idea of what this picture looks like. But still, it does feel for the first time in a handful of years that this is kind of a 3 or 4 horse race, which is rare these days.
Right, especially 3 weeks out.
Last year it just felt like Oppenheimer was destined, and it did end up winning. This year there's no such movie. Like I don't know. It could go several ways, and I'm fascinated to find out.
Well, if anything, this means I really do not have to actually watch Amelia Perez and can
Yes.
instead switch my attention to trying to find Honora.
Yeah. Anora is, I believe, digitally available, so you have to pay.
Yes.
But yeah, that and the Brutalist are going to be the hardest, I think, to get a handle on.
Uh, yeah, well, especially because Brutalist is still in theaters, but
Yeah.
it's a 3.5 hour film. I don't really have 3.5 hours
I
to
want to
watch
watch that at
something.
home. Like I'm gonna wait and watch that at home, hopefully. But I don't know. There's no guarantee I'll be able to do that before the second. So we'll
Yes.
see. This happened last year too with I forget which movie, but yeah, we're just like, okay, I guess I'm just not gonna see it prior. But anyway. Also, just a fun thing to point out if you're in a place like we are, check your listings for your local art house theater to see if they're showing the shorts. Our local art house theater here in Long Beach is indeed has scheduled out now when they're playing documentary shorts, animated shorts, and a couple of other things, I believe, too. So yes, those are being scheduled. So check your local listings, as they used to say, and see if you can see such a marathon presentation like that. We were probably going to try to go see one of those at least.
Yeah, my local Cinemark is having a couple showings of all the shorts thrown together,
Nice. So yeah,
as
fun
they
times.
always do leading up to the Oscars.
Yes.